Hi, I'm Coral Corrupt, and this is my second video blog. The very first video blog that I did, I really didn't have anything to talk about. When I don't have anything to talk about, I'm practically sitting there with my thumb up my ass, rambling. I usually like to, feed off of something or someone. This time I do have a topic. This is for Slave Bruce for the live journal Domme scene, and this topic is about who has the power, who really has the power, the Dom or the sub. And this is a very hotly debated topic because there are people from both sides of the coin that say, oh, the Dom has the power, or oh, the sub has the power, and there's a lot of people butt heads with each other. So I'm going to throw my opinion in, and I'm going to be as fair and realistic as possible in regards to this issue. So one of the main things is that people will say, well, the sub has all the power, they get to choose you, and they have the money, and you're dependent on them, and da-da-da-da-da. And in reality, there are some situations where I feel that the Dom does give the sub the power in regards to, money and stuff like that, or coping with things that, are undesirable. And those situations is when a bottom or a submissive will, continuously, or even once or twice, act really out of line, be very disrespectful, do something harmful. It doesn't necessarily always have to be physically harmful, but in some way, shape, or form harmful to a mistress or dominatrix or top, and they can buy their way back into the Dom's good graces or get a little quote-unquote punishment for being bad, and then oh, it's all better now, and until the next time the guy fucks up, and it's the same thing. They buy their way back in, or they whine their way back in, or the woman will just tolerate it and brush it off like, oh, he's having a bad day. Or when the bottom has, bases more importance on his own needs, and the Dom meeting them than meeting the Dom's needs, and is very high maintenance, temperamental. Any woman tolerating that, I feel as if she doesn't really have the power. I feel that the bottom has the power. The man that holds the money, that could be like, all right, I'm just gonna pay you to shut up, or pay you to deal with me, or make excuses. Any female that tolerates that sort of behavior doesn't really have the power. In the case where the Dom has the power is when she can pick and choose who she wants to see, and if she wants to see you or deal with you. That doesn't allow any room for slip-ups. She'll kick you to the curb, not even batting an eyelash, and chooses you based on your good behavior, keeps you around based on good behavior and not money. And let's face it, a lot of times money does come into play. This type of woman will take a financial loss over kicking her pride and dignity to the curb. Won't deal with any sort of misbehaving or disrespect, and I feel in that situation that woman has the power. You can't buy her your way back into her good graces. No amount of money can do that. I feel especially strongly for myself. There have been submissives who have spent tons and tons of money on me and decided they wanted to play by their own rules and not mine, and they felt that, oh, I could just pay her or buy her this or buy her that, and it'll be all good, but it didn't work out that way. So I make sure that I maintain a certain level of power that I always have at all times. Whether or not a sub is giving me, a standard session fee or dumping tons and tons of money into me really doesn't matter. His behavior matters. And, in that situation where the Dom can pick and choose who she wants to see and keep around based on the chemistry and their behavior, that woman has the power. You know, the woman who will say, you know what, before I allow a submissive to step all over me, I'd sooner work at a McDonald's or a Burger King. That woman has the power. I think I'd sooner live under a fucking bridge than have a man get on my nerves every day or constantly and just pay me money. I think I'd rather seriously live under a fucking bridge. But that's just me. Not everybody feels that way. But most of the time, actually a lot of the times, you know, this question doesn't even come into play. And, you know, people won't even argue about who really has the power, the dom or the sub. It's two individuals that both have needs, and they're both feeding off of each other. They're exchanging the power. They're, you know, both of their needs are met, and you know, everybody's happy. And that is an ideal situation, but that's not always the situation that happens. But, you know, carefully screening people and stuff like that is the most important, because there are times where you can find yourself in a potentially life-threatening situation. If you tolerate an individual who, you know, uses money for power. So keep that in mind, ladies. It's very important. You know, I've been a professional dominatrix since late 2001, early 2002. Yes, I'm a lot older than I look, and, you know, hey, whatever. You must have been thinking, like, oh, she's been a dom since she was in middle school. But no, I started out as an adult, and I'm very much an adult now. But either way, I'd say if you have to ask yourself that question, or if you have to debate that question, then you probably have some, you know, issues or struggles in regards to S&M or domination and submission, whether you are practicing in real time or, you know, just sticking to online. So not everybody's going to agree with me on this, but, you know, I think I've answered this topic or discussed this topic in the most fair way that I could possibly discuss. There's a lot of layers. It really all depends on the individual, depends on the situation, depends on the mistress. So who really has the power? It really depends on the situation, guys. So keep that in mind. And also, there were some individuals who were asked to submit questions for myself to answer and Goddess Lexi to answer. And I will say those were some really fucking stupid questions. I'm not going to answer stupid questions that could clearly be answered on my site. Questions like, do you enjoy ball busting? Do you do public humiliation? What's the biggest size strap-on you have? And da-da-da-da-da. Stuff that you could just go to Korrupt.com and your fucking questions will be answered. If you're asking me questions like that for some spank material, I'm not going to answer them. All of you minions out there who would like to ask me a question or questions that I can answer, I or a colleague of mine can answer to educate people, I would appreciate that. And put a little brain into it, you know. Don't answer these don't ask me to answer these airheaded questions. I'm not a fucking airhead, so you know, I would appreciate some intellect involving questions, because I'm not going to answer a bunch of convoluted bullshit that can be answered on my website or by looking at my website or videos that I've been in. So anyway, until next time, I hope everybody has themselves a good day. I'm off to enjoy mine. So take care and have a good one.